Hi Stitchers, how are we all? Thought I would show you what it's like at my place when I'm trying to stitch of an evening. So we are hiding out from Storm Aisha or Isha, not sure how that's pronounced, and I'm trying to put together a new pattern for not an online workshop, sorry, an in-person workshop. So I've got help from Reggie, and I think Gertrude's going to come down any minute and help out too, or cause a fight, whichever. So we here at Moonlight Stitchers, the reason it was called Moonlight Stitchers is because I tend to start stitching when it starts to get dark. When everything, well, initially when I'd finished my world of teaching and I came home and I'd got all the dinner ready and I had tidied up from my day, and then I wanted to sort of decompress. Oops, sorry. If I'm wandering about a bit, it's because obviously I've got help. Yeah, so it inevitably I started to sew when it got dark. So I started stitching outside in the moonlight. I'd stitch in the cinema when I used to take the kids when they were little. I can remember going to see many a Harry Potter film and stitching in the dark or by the light of the movie. So hence I decided to name my little business Moonlight Stitchers. Right, Reggie, what we're doing. Sorry we keep getting interrupted, but I thought this is the best way sort of to introduce us. And I have developed my stitching skills from an early age, from my grandparents and my mum. But my granny particularly, we used to go on a Sunday afternoon and stitch. She'd make the dinner and we would help. We'd go and make homemade mint sauce and collect the French mint out the garden and chop it up and do all the things. And I can remember putting the little crosses in Brussels sprouts, which I hated, but you know, other people loved. So we had a big one. Here comes Gertrude. She's going to come and say hello because she can't miss out. So we would spend all morning prepping, baking, doing our whatever for the lunch, for Sunday lunch, going outside and helping Grandpa in the garden. And with the chickens and things. And me and my sisters would set up a stall at the end of the driveway and sell runner beans and tomato plants and things like that when they were all ready. And when we cleared out Granny's house, when she passed away, there were still the signs that we'd made. 5p for a tomato plant and 2p for runner beans, however many, I don't know, I can't remember, but that kind of thing. It was so nostalgic, so lovely, and I wish now I'd kept them, and I don't know whether they are still knocking about. They might well be, but anyway. So that's where my love of stitch came from, and as I say, it was the decompression of busy jobs. I used to work at a football club, managing the administrative side of things, so that was quite a high pressure job. And then I was teaching. I am actually a classically trained pastry chef, and you know, but I always say to the kids, when that I was teaching, and they'd say, "Oh, Miss, you had such a lot of jobs," but you know, I say, well, I could never find my niche. I could never find what I wanted to do, and I loved baking, and so I thought that that was the where I was going. But it was hard. Everything's hard work, but that was particularly hard work in restaurants, and I wasn't happy working a split shift. But yeah, that was but a lovely time I was had, I have to say, and I met some beautiful people, some famous people, some Michelin starred chefs along the way, so I did have a lovely time and learned some fantastic techniques. But stitching was always my passion. Right, I'm just going to pull that off. I'm actually creating a new pattern, and I'm just wondering if this is going to be okay. I actually think that's not wide enough. This is my sort of way I work. I'll draw up some pattern pieces, then I use old pillow sort of the sacks that all the stuffing comes in that I use for my workshops. I use the outer for the pattern. Sort of, my head's gone and I can't think what you call them for the template anyway. Yeah, then it needs to be wider. So yeah, so that's what I do. I try not to sort of use anything that's brand new. I try to sort of rehash everything, and if I can. But I do love a good old shopping spree, as you can tell with my hauls and things like that. But Gertrude's gone. So I've digressed and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I think it was the sort of where I got to with the stitching. So yeah, we what are you doing? What are you doing? So I used to stitch in the evenings, and then once we'd had the pandemic, I thought to myself, well, what can I do to help people out in their sort of times of being alone, wanting to make friends again, and so and get contact with people again. So I came up with a little plan, and I made a little stitching club at the local cafe, and we'd go there once a fortnight. This was once we were let out, basically. So it sort of grew a little bit, but it was a bit hit and miss, and I didn't sort of really know what I wanted to do with that. And then one day I just thought, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And that's when I created Moonlight Stitches, and I will show you my little online. Oh, sorry. I'm in my pyjamas because it is night time. So these are my little creations. So we've got Moonlight, and we've got a Stella, and we've got Moon Gazing, and we have got the cockerel as well, which I'll just pop and fetch. But he's a bit, oh, little cockerel. He's not little, he's huge. But this one was done with all my childhood memories in mind, and this is sort of got things. It was a cockerel because my grandpa used to keep chickens, and the cockerel's called Mr. Darcy. And there's a run of beans that I've embroidered. They're peas actually, and that's a run of beans. And there's a picture of me and my sister on our bikes, and just things that reminded me basically of my grandparents and my childhood and things. And it was mostly baking. I got one with baking. I think there's one with a sailing boat. We had a sailing boat when we were kids. I think there's one with swings on and a play park. Yeah, it's a swing. Dandelions, bicycles, lots of bicycles in my life. Kite flying. All those good, but that was my childhood memory, and I do in-person workshops on how to do all these things. And what I do is I encourage people to use up pieces of old fabric that they find or they might have a memory of, and we basically rip them up, put them all back together and make something. So we've got the little moon gazing here, she's lovely. But these are also, I have, apart from Mr. Darcy, I also do these online, as an online virtual workshop that you can download and all that on my website. They are very meditative, and I encourage that kind of slow, kind of thought-provoking stitch while doing them. If you come along to the workshops, we have a lunch that's made by me. Sometimes I make cake. Like I say, I'm a pastry chef by trade, back a few years, but I can make the odd cake. Sometimes it's bought cake, I have to say. But so you have lunch involved. There's lots of lovely friends, and I remember doing my very first workshop, and I was so nervous, even though I've been teaching for quite a while, teenagers. I was so nervous, thinking, oh my gosh, these people have paid to come. I hope they're okay. I hope they're going to be like me. I hope they're going to like the course. I hope they're going to be understanding. I hope there's all kinds of anxiety going on. But anyway, I don't know why I worried. I met the most fabulous, adorable group of ladies, and we are still firm friends, and we go to stitch festivals and quilt festivals and all sorts of little trips out. You know, we have Christmas dinners and lunches and things. So yeah, I understand that I am on a sort of platform that's worldwide, and not everybody can come to Nottinghamshire and stitch with me. So I've tried to create the virtual workshop retreat type thing for people to join in online. I am looking into doing something. In fact, that's what I'm doing now, this one. Here's Gertrude. Hey Gerties. I am looking into doing a online sort of virtual retreat where everybody is live and we get together on Zoom. So that's something that I'm really sort of looking forward to doing in the future, not too distant future, but it's something I've not done before, so I just want to sort of make sure that we're going to get it right. So yeah, I actually sort of think, what am I doing waffling on here? But I think it was a friend of mine that said, you know, you should go on and introduce yourself and do a little chat about where you are, what you're doing. So that's what I thought I'd do. And I know I'm in pyjamas, and I know it's late on at night, and I know that I've got my visitors of Gertrude, who we call the CEO, and I don't know where Reggie's gone. He's probably gone for a little lie down in the bedroom. He does like to have a cuddle down on the bed, but it's not supposed to go, but he does anyway. So yeah, if you're interested in coming along, I know I'm got a shameless plug. If you're interested in coming along to one of the courses, workshops, head over to the website. The website is linked in all of my videos. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up.